Take control of your finances. Gain insights from top industry professionals. Financial topics that matter to you from your go-to resource. This is Right on the Money with your host, Dennis Mattern.
Hey, hello and welcome to Right on the Money, the show that features financial advisors, insurance professionals, and fiduciaries who discuss financial topics that empower you to take control of your finances. I'd like to thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Dennis Mattern, and I want you to know that you can always watch full episodes on our YouTube channel or at rightonthemoneyshow.com. I'd also like to ask you a favor, and that is to hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss a single show. Now, today we are joined with two special guests. We're joined by Kelly Carter, CEO of Beacon Retirement Planning Group, and Scott Bushkie, Managing Partner and Founder of Cornerstone Business Services. Gentlemen, great to have you here today.
Great to be here. Thank you for having us.
Now, the reason we're here today, we're here to talk about a very special movie that you both are intimately involved with. And before we get to that, I want to throw out some startling statistics, and that is that right now in the United States, there is over $10 trillion of assets in businesses, and of those businesses, 83% of those businesses are baby boomer owned. And what that means to everybody is that we have folks that at some point are going to want to either retire or exit their business. Now, the other startling statistic, and I can't wait to talk about this, is that only 20% of those businesses ever actually sell, which is just amazing. And so, Kelly, with those statistics in mind, why this movie, why now?
Well, it's important to understand when you do the math and you take $10 trillion of value and 80% of that value is going to disappear, that's $8 trillion of generational wealth that, if not transitioned properly, is going to disappear. Because as Scott and I always talk about, 100% of those business owners are going to leave that business.
One way or the other.
As we always say, vertically or horizontally.
And Scott, so one of the things that you bring to the table here, and I know is a very passionate part for you, is that you work with business owners on being able to actually sell businesses, correct?
Correct. Yeah, for the last 25 years, I've spent my whole life basically working with business owners to help them understand their value, realistic value in today's marketplace, and then ultimately helping them sell their business.
Now, you've both seen the movie. You were both at the national premiere. And by the way, folks, you're going to see down in the link below, you're going to see where you can find this movie in a theater near you. So don't worry about that, because you need, if you're a business owner, you need to see this. But with that being said, how did you get involved with the movie?
I was speaking at a national symposium and ran into Doug Orchard, and who's the film producer, and he was doing another film in the financial space at that time. And we just started talking like, boy, you know, if you want to make another film in the financial space, the M&A space is just a crazy space. It's kind of like the wild, wild west, especially in what we kind of call the low middle market, which are companies between 2 million to 50 million enterprise value, or 5 to 100, 150 million revenue. And because it's the most underserved marketplace, so there's some people that do it very well and maximize value. There's people that don't make the same mistakes that people have made 40 years ago and have this great business, and they end up not selling it at all and watching their legacy, all the wealth, the employees lose their job, and everything go away. And we thought, you know, with the stats that you mentioned that only 20 or so percent successfully sell, could we create a film that helps educate the business owner that they need to start planning sooner, that they need to build a team of specialists around them, and try to increase those stats from 20% don't sell to 20% sell to 20% don't sell, or get 70, 80% to sell, and try to really create this change across the country.
You know, one of the things, and then we're going to watch the trailer here in just a second, but one of the things, Kelly, that really resonated with me was you're pretty doggone close to being an expert on taxes. And one of the things in the tax world, I know that they always say that there's two tax codes, one for the informed and one for the uninformed. And as I was watching the movie, one of the things I thought about is there are those business owners that have informed themselves and prepared to actually sell, and then there are those that go out there that they're almost like they're unarmed.
Right.
You know, they're like babes in the wood.
Well, and you have 20 million businesses that make up that $10 trillion. And a lot of times as a business owner, they are in a position where they're so focused on the business that all of a sudden it's going to be an option that they want to sell or forced to sell. Death, disability, disagreements, divorce, all the things that we talk about. Scott also wrote a book called Finish Strong, which is a huge part of this education process, because you need to think out of the box as a business owner. What is my exit plan? And when you look at those businesses, 81% of those 20 million businesses want to get out in the next 10 years, less than 20% have a plan.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. That's a great teaser. So we're going to talk after we watch the trailer. I'm excited to tell you that we've got the filmmaker is going to join us, talk a little bit about why he put this movie together. We're going to watch the trailer, and then we're going to talk about what a business owner can do and how they can prepare themselves. Let's go ahead and let's roll that trailer, and then we'll see you after the break.
What do you want, more money or less? Easy answer, right? You always want more money.
We're always trying to educate the market on buying a business versus starting a business.
Startups are hard. It's got a huge failure rate.
If you structure it right, you can take a paycheck day one versus if you start up a company, which everybody seems to want to start up a company these days, you have no idea if that's ever going to work.
Whether you're selling or buying, this decade is the decade for M&A because we've got 3 million baby boomers who need to exit their firms. And so it's both a time to exit and it's a time for you to grow through acquisition versus organically.
A large number of the people I talked to were not at all happy about selling their businesses, and it almost didn't matter how much money they got for them.
I got a phone call from some people who said they're an investor group.
Okay.
You know what to do. Get to work.
We win because we direct the action.
They are professional buyers of businesses.
But wait, we had an agreement.
I'm afraid we can't close tomorrow.
It seems like this isn't going down at all how we imagined it.
They're just going to blow you out of the water. They have the questions, they have the tricks.
Are you really ready to sell?
The problem is only 20 to 30% of businesses successfully sell.
There is always an entrepreneur who says, I can do this myself.
If you haven't put together a team around you and you're planning to just sort of go run the play yourself, you know, that's just bringing a knife to a gunfight.
It's that whole planning and implementation process that owners don't understand they need to do. Their advisors, generally speaking, are unaware of that planning process and their role in it.
Typically, the biggest issue we find in connection with an unsuccessful transaction process is when the advisors aren't experienced.
The way the system works right now, it just isn't working. It's not good enough. And that's what we're all trying to do. Me and several others in the different associations are trying to rise up in the industry, educate the business community, educate the owners, so we can have more of these baby boomers and other business owners successfully sell their company.
Okay, fantastic trailer. Remember, if you look below, you're going to see the information on where you can find a theater near you to catch that, because if you're a business owner, you need to be watching this. Also, we're going to come back after the break and have a conversation with Doug Orchard, the actual maker of this film. You do not want to miss that. We'll see you on the other side.